What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you and going through 10 different squads. We're going to be going from 100k, 200, 300, all the way up to 1 million coins of a squad that you can use in Rivals, Foot Champs, or just generically in your upgrades for your team. They do vary, and I've tried to kind of incorporate a few different players, as well as the players I've been A, seeing a hell of a lot in Foot Champs and Rivals, and B, trying out myself. So we've gone for the bug standard to start with, and I will say, I don't know if any are over by 10k or so, depending on the market. At the minute, we are in a little bit of a high market for the kind of more fodder players, but we are going to try and keep it at a certain kind of price range. Yes, these will go down and up depending on different SBCs and just generically over time. So if you're watching this in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the prices may have changed a little bit. Do your due diligence and check out who I'm going for. So I will show you the price of each individual player. So we're going to be rocking between a 4-3-3, a 4-4-2 and a 4-2-4, I believe, but in game they can be moved around to whatever you like. I personally like a very balanced formation for a 4-4-2, and I think it is perfect for beginners because mainly with that formation I tend to have a good CM, someone who's going to push forward but also can be back, and then kind of like your solid DM. I've also tried to kind of give as much chem as possible. Sometimes you might see like Llorente's here, got one missing, same as Pedri, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Genuinely, as long as they've got some chem, I normally try and keep the rule of 2 at the minimum. If you can't quite get the 3, especially when it is up to 100,000 coins, it's not the biggest price tag going, and depending on how much you play in the game, you either have a team tenfold this or kind of lower than this. And finally, I've not really included many SBC players or anything from like an icon pack, as realistically they're kind of your added bonuses. I managed to get Campos from the hero pack, is under the value of the hero, and then I've got Zola from the other, way over the value of the SBC. So that is kind of just your putting on top as such. But into the 100k, I've gone for Nick Pope in net. Very cheap, very reliable as always. Llorente mainly for that pace. I normally have him on the bench, even with my team now, as a right-back substitution or a centre mid, as the pace is absolutely brilliant. We then have the trusty Kimpembe, 6.2k, very easy starter centre-back. He's quick, he's got the physical, he's a perfect starting centre-back for anybody. Next to Johnny Stones. Always loved a bit of Stones. To start with, he was the absolute rock in the defence and really worked. The only one that I'm not too convinced on is Gravadal in the left back role. It is what it is. I've kind of gone with him and really try and test him out. If you have looked at him in a left back role, let me know what he thinks. I can't imagine he's going to be crazy. You can go for someone like a Luke Shaw instead, but I've gone with him just to get the man ceilings. Why not? We give it a go. We then have Martinelli on the left-hand side. Again, looks like he needs an upgrade, but realistically, the biggest upgrade he's got in terms of left wing for Prem is going to be Son. That's a huge upgrade to him. It's about 100,000 coins compared to the measly 2.6 for Martinelli there. In the midfield, you'll be seeing him a lot, but Tchouaméni is a monster. Still in my team today, and most definitely holds that defensive mid down really, really well. And I've gone with a Pedri next to him. Get some links to Llorente. Has that kind of KDB-esque role going forward. A 4-4. It's decent enough pace. You could go with a Hunter or a Shadow depending on what you want. And it'll give you something going forward. It also has that tiki-taka playstyle plus. And then we have a very trusted source where a lot of the coins have gone in Diaby. Beautiful winger. If you want to cut in from the byline, he is your man. He is absolutely goated when it comes to going down the wing. And then we have, again, one that you're going to see a lot. I think he is the most effective for the price that you can physically get right now. Kolo Muani is outstanding. Also, another one that I've not thought about when it comes to strikers. If you've got to level 40 or any of the objective players, I haven't put any of them in as well. Purely because if you're not there yet, or you don't get there, you can't actually have them. Because technically Cunha would be in every single one of these squads. Because he's 0 coins and allows us to keep our budget everywhere else. So I haven't really kind of included any free players. And next to him, I've chucked up a bit of Nkunku. 5-star skiller. He's got a little bit about him. He may not be the perfect striker, but next to Kolo should do a decent job. And that's going to be 100k. You got a little bit to play with. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Then we go into the 200k squad. So we've gone a little bit different with this one. I have gone for a very attacking theme one because I've seen it quite a lot, and I must admit, it does work. It's a very, very nice attacking free. We've got Swanson at 14k. We have Morgan with a big price tag of 40, and then we also have Rodman at 22. All of them are absolutely exceptional. If you have come up against this trio, or even you'll see the kind of quadruple that you can get later on in a different squad, they are a phenomenal up free for literally, what, 40, 60, 80,000 coins for a beautiful front three that can definitely last out quite a while. If we kind of bring it back, we've gone for Grace, as I've been seeing her far too many times, and genuinely, when I looked at it to start with, because I kept seeing her in Rivals and Champs and was like, surely there's got to be something. She has Relentless Plus, but stat-wise doesn't look that impressive. But when I mean she is everywhere, she is everywhere. We then gone for Verratti as kind of the link to everybody else, but again, more of a passing play. Pace-wise could be a little bit of a drawback for this, but as long as you're kind of pinging it to the front three, you're absolutely fine there. And a casual Tchouaméni in the mid there. In terms of the defense, we've gone very PSG orientated, as well as Donnarumma making his debut here. We've gone with the left back, who genuinely, the inform looked sensational from the very, very first week. 24,000 coins now, great pace on her. The kind of B-Tech Ferland Mendy, because seen as though he's about 100,000 coins. But then we've gone Kimpembe. Hernandez is going to replace Stones purely for chem purposes, and a cheeky Hakimi in the right back. And again, 186k, not a bad price list for him. Moving on up to the 300,000 coins, a little bit under this one to be honest, 34k to play with still. We've then gone for almost similar backlines, as I think once you've got a backline that works, why change it too much? My one is Edison, Trent, Virgil, Varane, Mendy, all of them untradeable. We're very, very lucky, and that is it. Like, I know that there are, what's that, Edison's about 20, yeah, I've got Edison here. Edison's 27, Trent's 12. Then if we look at Varane, he's about 80. Virgil is about 260 and Mendy's 100. But realistically, once you've done that, that is all you need then. So if you can get them untradeable, you're absolutely golden. Saliba still absolutely crackers this year. Definitely come down a lot in price, which is always nice. So now only 31. Kimpembe is going for 6, as we know. Robertson coming in mainly for the links on each side. There isn't necessarily a massive Prem left back anymore. Predominantly Cancelo was the one to go for it, but Robertson's going to give us the links for Trent as well. Midfield wise, we've gone for the exact same as we know the price. Diaby's made his move back into the team with Colo, but we have gone for a little bit of a Son move here as well. You could argue if Rashford was just that little bit cheaper, you could argue Rashford there, but he's about 190 at the moment due to the fact that he's just absolutely goated in himself anyway. But there is that movement. You could potentially go there, or you could potentially swap out Diaby for a Dembele going forward if the prices do drop. FC24 is here, and Sky Coach has all your needs covered. From squad battles, champs, qualifications, and even now draft boosting, there is a long list of services they do give, as well as coaching, and also the big one everybody wants in FC24 coins. This service is fast and reliable, and you will get your coins, your boosting services, or obviously coaching in a matter of hours. If you do want to get any of these, make sure you head over to skycoach.gg, go onto the website, and when you go to checkout, make sure that you are using the code JT11 at checkout for your 5% off your orders. And if you'd prefer to do this on mobile, check out the screen right now with the QR code for their mobile app. Now this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. So again, with the back line, we've now got an Edison, Trent, Saliba. We've then gone in and added Varane over Kimpembe. Most definitely a big price jump there for 87. Due to the prices, it's kind of left us with an 800 coin left back. I don't normally like basically splashing it on one player, but when you've got Rashford up front, you've just got to. Realistically, if I were to buy Rashford, keep Ake there for like 4 or 5 games, I go buy Robertson after that. But this is kind of the budget. We're literally 1k under. Diaby, Tchouaméni, and also Grace. We've dropped out Son to get the Rashford in, and then Martinelli's made his appearance back, and we've also gone Colo. And kind of the way I like with this sort of building the squads in each 100k, it's kind of like the platform you should use to upgrade. I'm not saying sell the team and kind of make the next one every time, but say, for instance, I start with this basic 4-4-2. I don't have Varane, I have Kimpembe. When I want to make that upgrade, I know I can. We then change out the left back. Eventually, that could be Ferland Mendy. We then have Diaby, could eventually be Dembele. Tchouaméni and Grace, I think, are absolutely fine if you really wanted to, but you could potentially change one for more attacking and go KDB, or go for someone as a box-to-box like Bellingham. Same with Martinelli. Could be changed to Son. Kolo Muane could be Griezmann, Mbappe eventually, but we don't have the price tag for that. And Rashford is Rashford. He can stay there. Then we move up to $500,000. So we've again gone a little bit different. Like I said, I don't want to just make the exact same squad with one upgrade every single time. We have changed the back line. We've gone Donnarumma, Hakimi, Marquinhos, Kimpembe, and also Ferland Mendy. 106,000 in fact. In the midfield, we've gone Tchouaméni and Grace, and then added in a bit of Jude. 122 is quite a lot for him. I must admit, I'm not a massive fan of that, if I'm being brutally honest, but he is still a very good box-to-box. He's still on my bench going forward, so I can't really judge him too much. In terms of wingers, we've gone Diaby again. Like I said, a nice safe option. Could be Dembele at some point, or you could change him and have Son there and have Rodrigo the other side. But then we also have Rodrigo, who apparently requests failed, but that is because my internet's dropped. Fantastic. And there we go, we're back. So 37 for Rodrigo, 4-4, always good. And Vinny's like 900k, so it is what it is. Griezmann, on the other hand, Finesse Shot Plus is always going to be a fantastic one. 113,000 coins. He's a decent player to get in your team very early on, so I would say I'd recommend having a look at him. We are a little bit over, but again, price fluctuations could help us there. Now, this is where the team starts to get interesting. I must admit, doing the first squads, I'm like, it's okay, but it's missing a bit of sauce. Now we're up to, what, the 600,000. We've gone, again, backline, a little bit different again. We've gone Edison, Trent, Kimpembe, Saliba, and Mendy. Pretty standard. Obviously, when it comes to Kimpembe, could be Varane, could be Virgil. Same with Saliba, could be changed for Varane if you have a little bit more pricing. Mendy's a perfect left back. He can absolutely stay there. Trent could be Hakimi if you really wanted to, only a 10k difference. Diaby, Bernardo Silva to add a bit of technical with him, as well as a little bit more on the passing side. Tonali's going to come in at 60,000 coins for more the DM action. Sonny Baby's back in the squad, as well with Colo and also Rashford. Also to add, you can swap Rashford and Son if you really wanted to, and I wouldn't recommend it. You could, I suppose, swap Colo with Son if you wanted the kind of upfront, but I really wouldn't bother with that, to be honest. Colo's a great lengthy striker when it comes to it, so for me, he is absolutely perfect in that position. Oh, someone didn't know maths when he did this. 28k over. Okay, just listen, just hear me out. We've gone with Mignan in net this time. Not 20,000 coins, being conservative with it. Trent Mendy, Saliba, Varane this time, so we've swapped out Kimpembe. We've then gone back to the Tchouaméni and Grace combination, but then we've gone with Son, Rashford, Colo, and then brought in a cheeky Dembele. Dembele is in my team. I've got Dembele, Son either side, and they work perfectly. Dembele is absolutely rapid going forward. Obviously, with Colo, I personally at this point would have had Cunha. I've had Ansu Evolution. Who else have I got? I've got Griezmann on the bench, who never really got the links because I only got Varane recently. So he never really got the links in there. But most definitely, you've got yourself now a team that I think could last on its own. You wouldn't need to upgrade it other than getting the SBCs, icons, and all of that jazz. You could literally just be okay with this team, not a problem. Now, this is a team that I was very proud of, I must admit. The quadruple we've got them back: Swanson, Rodman, Morgan, and also Sophia Smith. She does have a Trailblazer that is monstrously priced, but she is phenomenal. You could go with the 4-3-3 instead, keep out Morgan, go with Swanson, Smith, and Rodman, but why not have them all? If they are all that good, you might as well. We've got the finesse on Morgan. Unfortunately, Smith doesn't have one unless you go for a Trailblazer. That doesn't matter. She is phenomenal. We then go with a standard midfield in Grace and Tchouaméni. I would say in this, I wouldn't necessarily play in a 4-2-4 unless I really needed a goal. I'd kind of go to the 4-4-2, keep it balanced. Morgan and Smith can do the job, and Swanson and Rodman can go down the wing. We then have a back line that is absolutely goated as well. My personal back line as well. Mendy, Varane, Virgil at 270, and then also Trent, and then Mignan for the links again. You could go Edison, I suppose, but I wanted to get a little bit more links on all of the French players as well, just to add that bit of flair. And we've still got 50k to play with. You could most definitely go with Hakimi. You could go... I don't think there is a good French right back anymore. Not yet until an upgrade's happened, but that is a little bit of a fresh team going into the 800. Now going into the 900, we're nearly at the, well, we are at the penultimate squad. We have changed now to go with Courtois in the back line, 77,000 coins. We've added in a cheeky Walker that is not in my team as of yet, but I really, really want this lad because I've played against right backs. Hakimi's good, great pace, all of that jazz. Llorente the same. Trent's decent for the passing, but Walker is outstanding. Varane, then we obviously had to kind of get rid of Virgil for the pricing. We've then got Saliba in and Mendy as standard. We've then gone for the same three in the midfield with Grace, Tchouameni and Bellingham. And up front, we've gone Dembele on the left this time, Rodrigo on the right, and then also Griezmann up front, because realistically we only had 30k to play with. There was not really an upgrade worth doing there. You could go with a Rashford potentially. Eventually you could go for a Van Dijk. Other than that, you could go KDB maybe at some point, or an informed Bellingham, but I don't think there's necessarily the worth the upgrade. All of these teams past like the 500k are still very, very good in this game right now. And then we have the Millie squad. We are 1k over, so I'm taking that, banking it, putting it in the bin. We've got Ederson back in net. We've pretty much got the back line that I want, including Walker rather than Trent. We've then gone with Diaby on the right hand side to mainly keep ourselves a little bit of budget. We've gone Tchouameni and KDB, my personal two centre mids at the moment. KDB plays that high line, which is really good for pushing on the other four. Tchouameni sits back, sits in the middle and covers centre, which again is going to be great for the physical battle that he have, especially being 6'2". Son's down a wing looking for that finesse on the inside. We then have Kolo Muani for the lengthy, and then we also have Rashford for the power shot plus. So it is balanced beyond belief. You've obviously got Diaby for the quick step going across inside the box. Son can still do that, but most definitely has that beautiful ability to turn in on the right and go for that finesse as well. Whereas Kolo can be just pinged balls through and just absolutely run through players. And then Rashford's looking for any space to absolutely unleash a power shot. And that is going to be 100k to 1,000,000 coins, squads for rivals and champs. Let me know, what do you think? Take care. Peace.